just because you can doesn't mean you should. There's some developers out there which, frankly, need to have their text editor taken away from them before they do some harm to themselves, or better yet, harm to some other people. One such developer is Tigrute. Not necessarily for what he created directly, but for what people have done with his creation. This needs to be put back in your mind. It needs to be unthought of, because I know where this goes. Frankly, it's already going there. So, for some reason, and I don't know why, you'd have to ask an Apple engineer, on the M2 and newer MacBooks, they added an accelerometer. I understand an accelerometer in a phone, in a watch. Why do you have an accelerometer in a laptop? I don't know. You don't know. I don't think the engineers know, but it is there, and there is an API to access it. So with that knowledge, what did he do? He made a project called Spank. Slap your laptop, and it will yell back. This is a project which maybe you've got some ideas in your head on what this could be used for. If you don't, have fun. Obviously, you can do basic things like you slap the device.
Hey, that hurts. Hey, ouch.
And it complains that you slapped the device. See, that's like normal basic stuff. That's fun. That's okay. Nothing weird's going on just yet. From there, someone felt inspired by that to go and make a NeoVim plugin where if you smack the device, it goes and deletes things you've typed. This is neat. This is fun. And a fun idea is, let's say you go and slap the laptop and then it closes the app you're in. It's a rage quit plugin. It's a fun little thing. Oh, nothing weird is happening. That's cool. That's cute. And then Chinese Twitter found it.
Years ago, I was Chinese.
Is that so?
I am not able to play the audio here, but I will leave this linked down below. I can't play the audio because it'll probably get the video age restricted. If that doesn't give you an idea of what the sound is, watch the video. However, maybe this one gives you a better idea of what the sound could possibly be. For anyone who's still not sure, it was used to make the laptop moan when you spank it. And because it's just an accelerometer, thrusting at it also happens to activate the accelerometer. Why? Why did you do this? Why did you make this thing that let people go and make this? As I said, Tigrute did nothing wrong here. He just unleashed a beast that people are gonna have some fun with. On a far more wholesome note, and on another note of why do MacBooks have this, another Apple engineer said, what if we had a sensor that detected the angle the hinge was at? Why? Who knows? All that's important with the hinge is open, that's not open, open or closed. Everything in between has no function. Let's put a sensor there to give it a function. With that being said, you can have some fun with it. Now, at the time, there was a bug and the angle was not being shown correctly, but you can have it go and creak as you bend it. This is fun, this is neat, this is cool. So what did somebody do with that? Well, it certainly wasn't as cursed as trying to have sex with your laptop. Instead, they turned the laptop into an accordion, which surely is good for the hinge. I can't see any reason any reason at all why that would be bad for the laptop. We are only just getting started. So there are a bunch of projects that you very well may have heard of, and they are all incredibly cursed, but you may not have realized that all of these were made by the same person, or maybe you happen to miss some of them. That person being Lyra, otherwise known as Rebane over on Twitter. If you've seen some really cursed CSS projects, there is a possibility this is the person who made them. If that name doesn't ring a bell, well, you're gonna find out very soon the kind of creations they've made. They are a crazy person and should have their text editor taken away from them. I originally found Rebane with this absolute monstrosity. It's finally time. This is CSS Clicker, a fully featured incremental game where your goal is to design your own personal website and get as many views as possible. It's basically a cookie clicker clone. The fun part, it's a pure CSS game, meaning it has zero JavaScript or server-side code. Because if you didn't know, CSS was a programming language. It's not a styling language. You can do really stupid things with it. It is hosted over on the website. Now, there is going to be audio that would normally play, but I can obviously not go and play that. All of this is CSS, okay? This might not seem crazy impressive. This is like normal stuff you do in CSS, okay? Let's start the game. Now we're playing a game. This is all CSS. What? What? What do you mean? What do you mean this is all CS? This is just a regular clicker game. There is nothing weird about this. It is a completely functional game. Obviously, it's gonna have some limitations, like if you refresh the page because there's no server-side stuff, nothing is being saved, it is gonna reset the game, but it's a fully functional clicker game. If you don't believe this is not using any JavaScript, go to the website yourself and turn off your JavaScript and watch it work exactly the same way. CSS is a programming language. So you know how in marketing for a folding phone, they always make a big deal about how strong the hinge is, how much the phone can be folded. They'll say things like, this device will last 1 billion trillion folds. It'll survive long past the death of the device. Well, have you ever wanted to put that to the test? And put that to a test in a fun way? Well, I made a Flappy Bird clone that uses your folding phone as a controller. I don't like that sound. Every time it is made, I think the phone is just gonna snap in half. I cannot think of many things that are worse for your phone than this. Assuming you have a folding phone and you're running Chromium, go to this website and you can go and play it. Obviously, I don't have one because I don't like wasting my money on stupid devices. But feel free to break your device if you want to. There is a warning here. Play at your own risk because this is really not good for the phone. However, there's something arguably worse, which they also made, because why not? I made an archery game that uses your charging cable as a controller. My charging port is basically broken. That cable is about as bad as well. This is sort of a spiritual successor to Foldy Bird. I wanted to make a game people without a folding phone could play too. I was inspired by Defend Your Castle and Bowmaster Prelude, although my game is very basic, and again, if you want to go and play that, that can be done. It will probably break your device at some point, and only works on Android. So, play at your own risk. But it is here, and you can go and play it. Obviously, like Foldy Bird, this is gonna require JavaScript, but that doesn't mean every bad idea is gonna require JavaScript, because we're not done yet. The reason I keep mentioning JavaScript is, well, I was building up to something that, doesn't use it. I built an x86 CPU emulator in CSS, no JavaScript. You can write programs in C, compile them to x86 machine code with GCC, and run them inside CSS. CSS is a programming language. This does specifically require running it in Chromium. I'm in Florp, this is Firefox based, because CSS has a lot of additional weird things that are not necessarily standard, and this relies on a lot of those stupid non-standard things. But if you run it in Chromium, you can have lots and lots and lots of fun with this. Now, should you? No. But it is here. Because there is a lot of confusion about what this is and what it is doing, there is an FAQ to answer some of these questions. Is C++ a programming language? Do you really need to ask at this point? If the answer you come to isn't yes, I don't know how you got there. Surely you still need a little bit of JavaScript. Nope, this is CSS only. There is a script tag on the site which is there to provide a clock to the CSS, but this is only there to make the entire thing a bit faster and more stable. The CSS also has a JS-less clock implementation, so if you disable scripts on this site, it will still run. JavaScript is not required. My CSS clock uses an animation combined with style container queries, which means you don't need to interact with anything for the program to run. But it also means it's a bit slower and less stable as a result. A hover-based clock such as the one in Jane Ori's CPU hack is fast and stable, but it requires you to hold your mouse on the screen, which some people claim does not count as Turing complete for whatever reason. So I wanted this demo to be fully functional with zero user input. But you still need HTML, right? Not really. Well, kind of. This entire CPU runs in just CSS and doesn't require any HTML code, but sure, we'll call it HTML code. But there is no way to load CSS without a style tag, so that much is required. In Firefox, it is possible to load CSS with no HTML, but at this moment, this demo only works in Chromium-based browsers. As for why, this feature uses a few CSS features, such as if statements and custom @ functions, that are not available in all browsers. At this time, it's only compatible with Chromium-based browsers, but hopefully they'll change at some point since the features used are in the CSS spec. I usually make sure to target Firefox in the projects I make, but it's just not realistic for me with this one. Now, if you look at the repo, you will notice some Python in there, and running this yourself is gonna require some Python. However, that is basically just setup code to get things working. It is not actually used for running the emulator. This comes up every time Rebane does something. What AI model are you using? I don't know why everybody assumes that this is written with AI. No AI is gonna have any idea how to write something this stupid. No AI is being used here. And is it practical? No. There are much better ways to do this, but you can do it. In its current state, it cannot run Doom. And a big part of the reason why is it's very much not a complete implementation. There are a lot of things that are still missing. There is a lot of work to be done. And does anyone feel like doing that work on something this stupid that nobody should ever use? Probably not. I'm sure there is a lot more really cursed nonsense out there. And if you just want some extra reading, go check out the website for Rebane. There is some other stupid stuff on here. There is the blog, and the blog has more really, really dumb stuff on it. But I'll leave that for another time. I love the fact that some people just make projects that have literally no value in the world. Frankly, they have negative value. Them existing makes the world worse. But it's still fun, and I love it nonetheless. So let me know. Do you have some other weird and dumb projects that more people should know about, even though they probably shouldn't exist? If you do, let me know down below, and let me know what you think about some of the projects we saw today. If you liked the video, go like the video, go subscribe as well, and if you really liked the video and you want to become one of these amazing people over here, check out the Patreon subscribe Silly Therapy linked in the description down below. I know where my buttons are. I never pressed them wrong. You saw nothing.
Daytime better call the vet.